Mary had a little lamb.
The fault. We believe that all men are created equal.
To the magnificent mosaic that is America.
From radio beacon to radio beacon.
I have a dream.
Change has come to America.
Believe me.
Help is on the way.
Knock, knock. Who's there?
It's a figment of your imagination.
Randi Rhodes Show. Turn up your mind.
It looks like another indictment, perhaps the most significant indictment, may be coming Donald Trump's way.
Yeah, we may be on the verge of that in just a couple of days. Just in the last few minutes, Joe, Donald Trump posted on Truth Social, his fledgling social media site, to reveal this. I'm paraphrasing. He says he received a target letter from the Department of Justice, from Jack Smith's office, Sunday night, saying that he is indeed a target of the January 6th grand jury investigation. So a target letter, as we know, is usually a signal that indictment is on the horizon. Trump goes on to say that he's been given just 4 days to report to court. Now, we haven't confirmed that yet. The Department of Justice has not weighed in yet. But Trump himself says that this almost always means an arrest and an indictment. And then he goes on for 2+ pages on a screed against alleged bias in the system and stuff, which we will not repeat. But again, we know that he has already been charged with a crime federally for the mishandling of classified documents. We know he has already been charged with crimes in New York State for business practices. We believe that in a matter of weeks, a charge could come down in the state of Georgia for election interference. And now Trump himself is confirming that he's received a target letter for the January 6th and election interference probe. It's not just about the events of the riot at the Capitol, but all that led to it.
Oh, my God. So, all right. So if he got a target letter, I'm sure it's accompanied by a fundraising pitch, right? In which he has to call Jack Smith deranged, which, they don't want to mention on the TV because, they have to be very accurate on the news. And it's hard to understand him when he's foaming at the mouth like that. But what law hasn't Donald Trump broken? I think that's an easier question to answer than sitting here and, telling you all the laws he did break. And of course, every time he's indicted and every time he's charged in a civil case or in a defamation case or in a criminal case or in a case where there shouldn't be any conference needed because, today, this is crazy. I mean, how much activity around Donald Trump in courts is occurring. Today, he's in court trying to figure out the procedure that will be used in order to do the classified document case because the jury that they haven't selected yet, but the jury in Fort Pierce will not have security clearances. So they have to discuss, how to deal with classified information under the Classified Information Procedures Act, SIPA, which is going to become everybody's favorite little acronym now. Want a little SIPA? Yeah, SIPA. That's how you're going to remember it. But I thought that he declassified everything. I declassified everything. That's what he said. So there shouldn't be any conference needed today in Alien Cannon's courtroom to discuss how to handle classified information to a jury that doesn't have any clearance. Okay. His lawyers don't either, as far as I know. And so they have to discuss all of this today. That began at 2:00 Eastern time. I'm waiting to hear two things out of that court. One, whether or not he declassified everything, and we don't even need to discuss, Classified Information Procedures Act, or, and also what day they intend to have a trial on this documents matter. Because his dance card is getting pretty freaking full. I mean, it's like really hard to even, reserve him for a trial anymore. There's trials everywhere. He's got one in October. I think that's the civil trial in New York, having to do with the hush money payments. Then he's got a criminal trial in New York having to do with falsifying business records. The idea that he inflated the value of his properties for insurance purposes and undervalued the value of his properties for tax purposes. This kind of thing, this fraud, another fraud case, criminal fraud case. So you got that one, I believe, in March. You have Aileen Cannon that said she wants this document case to be held in August. The prosecution, Jack Smith, said, no, I really would like to go in December. And Donald Trump saying it should never happen. Of course, that's his position. It should never happen. And if it does have to happen, then I need it to happen after the election. I need it to happen then. Why? Now, some people are going to say so he could pardon himself. Oh, please, don't even go there. It won't even be necessary. If Donald Trump becomes the president of the United States again, well, then obviously we deserve exactly what we get. And that will be fascism, by the way, is what it will be. You will have jackbooted thugs coming to your door. Everything, that that you ever heard about, the actual, secret police, the neighbors ratting out neighbors. I mean, that's already happening if you live in Texas, right? You can rat out your girlfriend if she talks to you about trying to abort your baby. You could actually, her friends could be talking at a Starbucks about how she, didn't want to be pregnant anymore. And man, oh man, they can go hunt her down. So anyway, all that will become, a thing in the United States of America should he become president again, no doubt. But if he does become president again, oh my God, he will just quash the whole investigation. He could do that. I mean, he will, obviously fire Merrick Garland. He will clean house at the DOJ. He will get rid of Jack Smith. He will, just screw the whole investigation, end it with actually no conclusion. And you will never know, how many crimes in the book of crimes he actually didn't commit. You will never know the answer to that question. But this is so bad. It is just so bad. So, of course, he's got 4 days. 4 days, and this particular indictment will be about January 6th, and it will be a conspiracy indictment. It will be a large, maybe even two conspiracies, maybe, conspiracy to make money off of a false, a declaration that the election was stolen. So maybe there'll be fraud, wire fraud, and a whole bunch of people involved in the wire fraud so that he can enrich himself off the big lie. And then there'll also be a conspiracy where him and Rudy and Sidney Powell and Michael Flynn actually did go and lie to various, legislatures in Georgia, in Arizona. Obviously, they spoke to Douchey over there. They've interviewed the Secretary of State of New Mexico. They've interviewed the Secretary of State of Michigan. You got Georgia, obviously, right? Brad Raffensperger's been interviewed for the January 6th thing. So this thing's going to be humongous. All we can hope for is that the indictment is actually delivered, served in 4 days. That would be Thursday, everybody, because he got it Sunday. I know today is Tuesday. Don't get confused with October trial, March trial. She wants it in August. He wants it in December. They want it never. Then you got the 4 days. Does the 4 days start on a Tuesday? Does it start on a Sunday? No. It's over on Thursday. And so on Thursday, maybe he'll be indicted, but it will likely be just like the other one, under seal for a couple of days. And then I'm going to say sometime either during the weekend or on Monday, they will unseal that indictment. And let's just hope that it was written as well as beautifully as the indictment for the documents case, because that was what they call speaking indictment, but it spoke volumes. I mean, it was a short story, and it was a good one. Let's just hope it has a happy ending. Anybody? Yes, a happy ending, because we need to know what the hell was going on with January 6th. Like, who was organizing the fake electors, and why is Rudy still free? Why isn't Michael Flynn in a gulag somewhere in Siberia? We need answers to our difficult questions. So that's interesting. That's very interesting. The other thing is he has 4 days also, he could take up Jack Smith on this little offer to appear before the grand jury and tell his side of the story. But I'm guessing he'll tell his side of the story on Newsmax. Not under oath. Yeah. Don't have time to listen to the live show? Want to hear more on your schedule? Go to RandiRhodes.com and buy a stinking podcast.